my name's Judy.
And I'm Ceci.
And together we are
Two Girls on a Mic. Do 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 elevator music. Well, welcome, guys. We're Two Girls on a Mic, a podcast where we have technical difficulties and we're recording. I think this is the latest we've recorded in a while.
So if you see us tired with low energy,
we'll try to be as enthusiastic as we can. We're going to be talking about like work stuff, money stuff.
Money.
Yeah. Releasing our inner Mr. Krabs, you know. But first, let's get into how our weeks have been. Exhausting.
I've been really tired lately.
Yeah.
I don't know where the tiredness came from because I feel like I've been doing everything. I haven't even been working out. So I can't even blame that. But I just...
Are you sleeping enough?
I want to say I am. But there, like on Tuesdays, I go in super early because I have to do payroll.
Right.
But I think one day I had to sleep like at 9 because I was just so tired.
Yeah.
And that day, I think that was Thursday, and that kind of leveled me out, and I'm okay. Like I'm so tired, but not like as exhausted as I was.
It might be not to be one of those girlies, but it might be something with like astrology.
I want
because
to maybe.
I feel like I've been tired too for the same thing. I feel like I'm not doing much, but I was talking to people at work today, and they said they were feeling the same thing. They said like this whole week, every day they've just woken up like more exhausted than the day before.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I questioned multiple times to call out because I was just so tired. I was like, "No, I'll be fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
coffee will fix it."
Yeah,
it doesn't.
I think I drank like 4 coffees. I usually don't drink coffee. I know, crazy, right? I'm becoming a new person. But this whole week, I didn't drink coffee up until today. I got a venti at Starbucks, and then during my break, I got another coffee from the break room. And then every other like 2 hours, I'd go and get another coffee. And it didn't help. And so Matt got me a boba today, which is also not helping. But yeah, it's just been a tiring week. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy going on. It's just.
Yeah, definitely. There's something in the air.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is Mercury in retrograde? I don't think that's what it is.
I don't know. I don't even know when that. I feel like anytime something bad happens, it's in effect.
It's the moon. For Thankful Thursday, I mean, I'm just gonna. I'm thankful for right now, like Matt's family. They're helping us out with Freddie. Like they're taking him out on walks in the morning, just because Matt and I are both like, this is the first time we've both been working kind of full time in a while.
Okay.
And I leave the house at like 7:30. So I'm like, I'm not going to get up at like extra early to walk Freddie. Sorry, Freddie. But and I don't get home until the sun's already down.
Yeah.
And same thing with Matt. So his sister's been taking him like on walks in the morning. Yeah. I guess she's trying to take him and Boba at the same time, and her arm almost fell off.
Big mistake. I'm thankful for... What am I thankful? I'm thankful for my husband. He was super cute for Valentine's Day. He surprised me with dinner and flowers, like, and balloons. And this is big for him because he's not a romantic guy. So on Valentine's Day, I went home for lunch, and I called him like, "Hey, like I'm gonna go home for lunch. I want to see you guys." And then when he opened the door, Joe was holding some flowers, and he was holding a balloon. Yeah, it was so cute. He's like, he said he was so paranoid because he's very paranoid, like for surprises. He hates doing surprises. The fact that he pulled this off without like telling me is a lot. But he's like, yeah, because I know you sometimes you look at the ring. So I went through the side door with the flowers and balloons, and then I came back. And I guess he had gone to Home Depot, and he got like some light bulbs because we needed some replacing. Yeah. So he's like, then I walked up, and I was making sure that you can see the light bulbs, so you didn't think it was like a little weird.
He's like acting all.
Johnny, he's super paranoid, like for surprises. So the fact that he pulled it was super cute.
Yeah, that sounds cute. Honestly, I forgot Valentine's Day was this week. That's how like Robin's been. But hopefully you guys had a good Valentine's Day. I think we both spent it the same, just inside.
Yeah. Like I said, you're not gonna catch me.
I know Matt asked me because I asked him because I made chocolate covered strawberries for the first time, and I was texting. I was like, "What time are you gonna get home?" Because I was trying to figure out if I could finish it on time.
Oh, okay.
And he texted me. He's like, "Do you want to go out tomorrow for Valentine's Day?" I was like, "No." It's like, no. One, I want to go to bed early, which didn't happen, and I just don't want to go out in crowded areas because then I'm going to be out even later. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys had a good one. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't, there's always next year. But last week we left off, we were just talking about how we viewed being wealthy when we were kids. And we mentioned that our views on that have changed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing.
For sure.
And I mean, I'm going to be honest, when we were planning this, we knew exactly how we were going to segue into everything, but I can't remember right now. So we're also going to be talking about like work
environment, how...
Because that's how you make money.
For sure. Yeah, I hope so. Unless you like do OnlyFans or...
That's work too, though. It's just a different type. You don't have HR. You don't have a whole team. You're a one-man band at that point. But that's more impressive, right?
And the topics we're going to talk about, for me, I'm going to have two views. I'm going to have like HR views because as much as I try to, push that away, it's kind of built into me now.
Yeah, so she's going to have the fun sucking views.
And then I'll like have my personal as an employee, as a regular
like
person.
For the people.
Yeah. I'm for the people too with HR. Wow, what the hell?
What was that?
Steven finished the workout. Dude, I don't care.
Like, I don't. But yeah, so we have some topics about like, because I think it was because we were watching TikToks.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of TikToks going around of like just how to deal with certain situations when they come up at work. Mm-hmm. Like, do you kind of just look out for yourself or do you keep like the team in mind? Mm-hmm. And obviously everybody has their own opinions to that. So we're going to give you ours.
I think the biggest one that I've seen on TikTok lately is, do you give a 2-week notice or not?
Yeah.
And I have two views. Mm-hmm. Yes and no.
Yeah.
My HR thinking, me as an HR person, is like, I hate when employees give me like that 1-day notice. Like, fuck. Now, especially in California, because I have to now give you everything within a certain amount of time for me to be compliant with California law.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I hate it.
Yeah,
it's just like a burden on me as a worker.
It kind of feels like you're screwing over the company, but it's more so screwing over you.
Yeah.
Because you are the one getting it all done, not the company.
Exactly. I'm like, and I'm not the bad guy, okay?
Like, look, I get it.
But, because sometimes it's like that they're mad with the manager. I'm like, well, I'm not going to give no notice. Yeah. But the supervisor can care less, you know?
because they don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's like, I have to deal with all the paperwork and all that stuff. But I get it. From me as a person, I would say, again, yes and no.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's some companies that honestly don't even deserve any kind of notice.
That's what I was going to say. Like, if the situation has gotten so bad where you've reached out to other like higher management or whatever, and you're still not getting any like help, no matter what the situation is, because everybody's thing is different.
Yeah.
But if you feel like you're just that stuck, that's when I could get like, okay, like you have to get out of there for yourself.
For sure. Like, for example, like if, at least for me, if it's like you're being harassed or, you're being abused or like you can't take it anymore. I completely get it.
Yeah.
I don't blame you for not giving enough notice. But if you have a good relationship with a company, there's no issues, like there's no red flags.
Yeah.
Give the 2-week notice.
Yeah. I think I've done that at like every job that I've had to give a 2-week notice on. Even though there was one time where I shouldn't have. But I was a good person.
And I think that at least from what we've been told since like the beginning of time, like you don't want to burn bridges.
Yeah.
This is the ethical thing to do. This is, the norm or the professional thing to do. And I get it. But honestly, if your new employer does do some reference checks, they're not going to ask, did this person give you a 2-week notice?
Yeah.
Because you can't really ask certain questions. You have to phrase it in a certain way to get the answers you need. Like one of the things, like one of the questions they'll ask, would you rehire this person?
Oh, okay.
And that kind of gives you like, well, if they don't, then obviously something went wrong.
Yeah. And I saw this TikTok. I'll try to see if I can find it and send it to you so you can put it up. But it's basically this girl. I don't remember if she stated why she left her job, but she said that oh no, she didn't leave the job. They fired her, I think. And because she was a temp and she knew that it was like going to be a seasonal thing. But I guess after they fired her, they're like, hey, we couldn't get anybody to cover your shift. Can you come back? And she said, she told them yes, but she didn't end up going. And I get it, you know, like that's kind of fucked up for them to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I'm just thinking of it because I think it was retail. It just goes back to your coworkers. Like, that's going to screw them over.
Right.
And I mean, if you hate your coworkers, there you go. But like, if they're okay people, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah. For sure. Like, I think going back to the 2-week notice, the reason why I would like to, for me personally, like giving 2-week notice is like if I ever need to go back to that company, I haven't burned bridges. Yeah, but if you're not wanting to ever go back to that company, then screw it. Yeah, because at one place where I was at, I did not feel like giving a 2-week notice, but I was like, you know what, I might need to come back. Yeah, like I don't hate the people, and that's how I thought about it. It's like at the end of the day, I'm gonna be screwing over employees and supervisors that I actually care for because the higher ups weren't helping me and I was going through a lot of shit. So I was like, you know what, let me just do the 2-week notice. Let me help as many people that I can in that company because I had a really good relationship with, you know, the lower part of the facility. Yeah. As opposed to with the higher ups. So it's just like, fuck, dude, leadership here sucks. Yeah.
And if you're just bouncing around from like job to job, then
and honestly, nowadays nobody cares if you're a job hopper. Yeah, because I remember growing up, that was a big thing. Like when I first started in HR, like, oh, when you're looking at resumes, if they're moving like every 2 years or so, like be careful with them because they're only gonna be with you like for X amount of time.
Don't look at my
resume. But honestly, now
it's like
very common now.
Yeah, like my resume, because I think outside of like entertainment industry stuff, I've done only like temp stuff, but I know that it's temporary going into it. It's not like I go show up for like a few months and then quit. Right. So this the girl, she did my interview for the job I have now. She did it over the phone, and she's like, "Oh, I see you've done a lot," because I have like office stuff, and then I have like the entertainment stuff, and then I think I put that I have retail experience, but I didn't like put the whole thing. And I was like, "Yeah, I like to bounce around a lot," and I thought she was gonna like kind of see that as a bad thing. She's like, "No, that's good. Like I'm the same way." Yeah, I was like, oh, "Okay,
it's more acceptable now for sure, especially." With the younger recruiters, managers, because if you have like I've seen TikToks where like with boomers are like, oh you know, like people are not loyal to companies anymore and blah blah blah. It's like, well, companies aren't even loyal to their own people. Yeah. So why the hell am I gonna be loyal to a company that's not even willing to give me a good raise? Yeah. In order for you to get a significant raise, they say that the best way to do that is for you to move to jobs because you get like at least a 20 to 30% increase when you move jobs. And that's true because when I moved from my previous job to this job, I had a pretty decent increase. Yeah.
I've noticed that too with like hourly pay. Like it's only been getting higher with every job I go to.
And now like the standard of like when you get your merit increases on a yearly basis, like 3%. 3% ain't shit. It's like, I am not, you're giving me like a quarter? Thanks.
Oh my god. They literally did that to me. Okay. Story time. When I was working in retail, they pulled us into the office. They pulled everybody into the office. But when I was talking to my store manager, he's like, I would appreciate if you wouldn't talk to everybody because not everybody's getting this raise. So I was like, ooh, I'm going to get like a couple more bucks or something. I got 24 cents. Not even a full quarter. And I was like, are you kidding? They're like making a big deal. And not everybody got it. That's the fucked up part.
Yeah. Unfortunately, being in HR, sometimes I see the raises. I'm like, our employees are going to be pissed.
One of the girls, I think she told him, she's like, just keep it. I don't even want it. And I was like, damn, wow. I'm going to take my 25 cents.
24
cents. I'll take hers too.
Give it to me. She don't want it.
Yeah, she's feisty. But yeah, that's
yeah, I hate being in HR and doing those reviews and stuff. I hate it because you have a budget that you have to work with within like the whole company, and you're like, but you and I encounter managers and supervisors that want to give employees like 10%, like high increases. Yeah, but they're limited to what they. Yeah, they're told like, hey, this is your budget. You're over exceeding by X amount, and like, well, cut something or we'll cut it for you. Yeah, so it's like you can't always be mad at your manager because they can only do so much because at the end of the day, the higher ups will approve what is needed based on the budget that they have. Yeah. So don't be too hard on your managers, especially if they're good ones that they're trying to help you, but they can only do so much with what they have.
Yeah, it's a ladder.
What do you think of when people, coworkers or supervisors or managers, that they try to get or start asking you like personal questions? Like they try to get really friendly. Because I know that comes with like a lot of issues.
Yeah. Well, going back to that old retail job. So I was talking about my store manager, but I had like my manager. And I remember when she and I started like talking stuff outside of work. And I think it worked because it's a retail job. And I mean, what else are you going to talk about? But it's also happened where I'm like in the office and people start asking me questions. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to talk about that. Like for me, I understand, like, you know, you talk to your coworkers like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Or, oh, what'd you do this? I just started this job. This is my 3rd week. And I felt uncomfortable when somebody asked me what I did for Valentine's Day. And I know that might be a little weird, but it's like, I feel like that's very intimate. Yeah. And I don't know you. So I was like, it was fine. I just stayed at home. But yeah. But it's also different if it's like just another coworker at the same level versus if it's your higher up. Because then that might be, you don't want to offend them. Because what if they're one of those bad ones?
They're like, what did you hear? That so-and-so is getting drunk every weekend.
She lost her voice. Oh, speaking of, we didn't even talk about Galentine's.
Oh, we didn't.
We'll make it quick. We got drunk. We
did karaoke.
Did a lot of karaoke.
And somebody doesn't sing.
I don't sing. It takes a lot, obviously, for me to want to sing in front of people. And I sang my heart out. And I paid for it for like 4 days because I didn't have a voice.
I'm saying our karaoke playlist was all over.
It just showed our range.
Yeah. It went from like All-Star by...
That's how it started.
Yeah. And then at one point I remember singing Bodies.
We did. I think that was our best one.
I think that was our best one too.
I think we shook the house. We did some. We didn't do a Rihanna song, even though we should have. Did we?
No, I don't think we did.
I don't think we did because it was the day before the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but we did Miley Cyrus. Somebody wasn't a fan though.
Which one?
We did or Hannah Montana. Sorry.
Oh, so I didn't grow up. I know who she was, but I never got into it. Yeah,
but you weren't letting me and Fabi have fun. You're like, change it.
I remember this.
But we even sang to songs we didn't know.
Nice.
Like Brandon picked a song and none of us knew it.
Which one?
Little Red Corvette. I think that's what it was called. Nice. But we all just
read the screen. All right, I love
it. But yeah, that's that. But do you like? Have you ever talked to any of your like coworkers, like personal wise?
I have. I've at my previous job, even with some supervisors, I was very open, and I think that's where I kind of, not that they did anything bad, but I learned, and that was one of like my first, like, you know, where I had a bigger role in HR. So I learned to not overshare so much. Not that they didn't or shared my stuff. I just at some point as I got older, I was like, you know what, I should probably not be sharing so much, especially because I'm in HR. And now I have employees from my previous jobs following me on Instagram. I'm like, I don't know why I let them follow me. And some of them are probably watching this podcast.
Hey
guys. But yeah, I try to now minimize. Like I give more generic answers. Yeah. But even though like my coworkers are pretty, like chill. Mm-hmm. So is my boss. So
that reminded me today. The girl I sit next to, she's quirky.
Hey, quirky's not bad.
It's not, but she's. I don't think it's that she overshares. It's just she likes to talk a lot. Mm. So she sat down. She's like, "Good morning," and I was like, "Good morning." I was just starting my thing. It was freaking 9 a.m, and I was just like doing my thing. And there's like a little like wall to separate our computer screen, so we could see each other, but we can't see each other's screens.
Okay.
And she's like, "Do you know what? I forgot what kind of bug she said." I was like, "No." She goes, "Oh, well, my house got like infested with them last night." And I was like, "Ooh,
disgusting. Why are you here?"
I was trying to be like, what can I say? I was like, wow, whoa.
Well, that sucks.
And yeah, I told her, I was like, yeah, I can't do bugs. Like, I can't. And she's like, yeah, I guess we left some breadcrumbs out and they all got the breadcrumbs. And I was like, oh, okay. So if you're watching, I like your stories. I don't know how to react to them because I'm like, what do I say?
Yeah. And you know what I also noticed when I was oversharing is because I was nervous and I just kept talking and talking. Thing. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Why are you sharing all these things?
I've done the same thing before.
Then I kind of catch myself like, all right, you did good. Right, let's stop it here.
Yeah. There's this pretty, she's a sweet, she's an older lady. And she, I overheard her yesterday. One of the girls, you know how I get embarrassed when my stomach starts growling?
Okay.
Everybody's stomach was growling the other day. So it's like, I didn't even feel embarrassed. Because every 2 seconds you're grrr.
Do you guys not have snacks?
No, I guess not. But well, the thing is, and it's kind of annoying, is that we don't know if we're going to be doing full days or not until the day of. Sucks. Yeah. So like, I get annoyed because I can't pack. I could pack my lunch, but like, what if I don't eat it and I just waste the meal, even though I could eat it after? But so like our stomachs were all growling, and she offered this one girl. She was complaining, and she's like, "Oh, well, I have 2 sons, so I always have little snacks in here." And she gave her like a bunch of fruit snacks, and I guess she was every day she leaves them on our lead's desk. And he didn't know who it was, and so he sat down today, and he was like. He started looking around because she left him some. And she, like, in our little group chat, she put the snacks are from me. And he's like, "Oh, thank you. I was wondering you."
That's so sweet. Oh,
yeah. I was like, aww.
I love when my employees do that. Like, they'll give me, like, "Oh, here's a fruit." Usually it's the older ladies. Like, "Here's an apple. Here's an orange."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, thank you. I was actually hungry."
Here's my mind.
So they probably hurt my stomach.
Another thing I see here is like PTO. So here's the thing. I didn't understand how PTO worked for a while.
Really?
Yeah. Because nobody explained it to me. I don't know why I thought that like once you start a job, they explain everything to you. That's not
they
how it
should.
Works. I mean, my first job was at Six Flags, and we all know how that went. So, so I think for the first few jobs, I didn't really like, when I called off, I didn't know that I could ask to use my PTO. I didn't know that.
Well, it depends on the policy, how the company has it. Because some companies will require you to use your PTO. Like, even if you don't put it, like, say you call out and you don't tell me you want to use your PTO per the company policy, I'm still going to use your PTO if you have it. Some companies have it like that. Others were like, well, if you don't ask for it, you're going to go unpaid.
That's the one that, because the retail one was the one I stayed at the longest. That was like almost 2 years, I think. And yeah, I had to ask. And I didn't learn that until like when I was done.
Oh, damn. But I mean, at least you get that paid out.
Oh, I do? I didn't know that.
In California, yeah. Any PTO or vacation that you earn, whenever you leave, they have to pay you that out. They can't keep that. Unless you work for a company that has like unlimited PTO, you never really accrue. So you never get that paid out. Because you can use it whenever you want. Yeah.
Makes sense.
You learn something new.
Yeah.
Now you know how PTO
so
works.
Can I use my
the thing with PTO for me is that I still struggle to this day is like, do I use it or do I save it? Because sometimes like I just want to take one day off, but then like, but I want to save it so I can get like a whole like week or 2 weeks off. But it's like sometimes I really need the time off.
Yeah.
So it's like me struggling with save it or use it. And sometimes you just have to use it.
Yeah. Is this, I don't know if it's a teacher thing or if it's like a every job thing. NQAs.
What?
Okay. So I don't know if they're called NQAs like everywhere, but that's what my mom calls them because she's a teacher. So apparently they get their like time off, but they also get, I think 2 or 3 NQAs. I don't know if it's per semester or per year, but it's basically like your like no questions asked for teachers because I guess they ask you why you need the time off.
What the fuck? They can't do that.
Well, they
you
do.
Request a PTO. You just it can be different for schools. I never work in HR for schools, but as far as I know, when you use your PTO, you don't have to know why.
I don't know. Ever since like she's been a teacher, that's how she's explained it. Like if she wants to go somewhere, and she also tells like if she like takes time off and like we go somewhere, she's like don't post anything, and she won't post anything until like the next day to make it look like she went the next day. I don't know if that's just her being paranoid.
But any school teacher, let us know if that's an actual thing where you have to tell them what you do. Because why?
I don't know. But that's why like whenever we bring up a thing, she's like, oh, I could use one of my NQA days. So that way they don't have to question and she could post stuff and like not be worried about.
I think that might be just a teacher thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't.
Never dealt with that. Yeah, but there's also some people that don't respect your boundaries and they're like, why do you need the day off? Like, because I.
Yeah, I hate that. I love that our one of my super bad managers, whoever I reported to, whenever like a coworker would call out, she'd be like, she like wouldn't say anything. Like she would just, I was like, oh, she's not in? No. And she wouldn't say, oh, well, she called out sick or, whatever. And I love that she kept that privacy with even with our coworkers. Like, yeah, let us know that we're going to be out, but that's it.
Yeah.
We don't say anything more.
I know, yeah. And I always get nervous. I think it's because my first few jobs, they were like that. They're like, why do you need the day off?
I have to get used to not doing that. Yeah. Where it's like, I need the day off because it's like, no, I'm gonna take this day off. Yeah. Instead of asking him like, here you go.
Yeah, that's the same. Like I was getting ready to like come up with an excuse because we're going to Vegas next weekend. And I told the job I'm at before I got hired, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to come in this day because I already have like prior plans. And I text my recruiter. I was like, hey, I just want to make sure you guys still got that. She's like, yeah, you just have to tell your lead, like one-on-one. And I was so nervous. Thankfully, I have like I don't know how to say this without sounding weird, but like he's the most fun one, I think.
Like laid back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, like I just wanted to like let you know that I'm not gonna be able to come in this day. He's like, oh yeah, I got you. You're good.
And I love that.
I was like, I was like sweating.
I freaking love that. Because I've dealt with people who were like, they would question. I'm like, dude, I just can't fucking come.
Yeah.
Or I just want the day off.
I have to go to my gynecologist. If you want to know so bad.
I remember I called in sick one time and I'm like, oh, hey, I can't come in today because blah, 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 and explain everything. And my manager's like, you don't have to go into details. Just say you're not feeling well and leave it at that. He's like, don't worry, I'm not one of those managers that's gonna like be toxic. I'm like, well, nice to know.
So how would you recommend, like, say somebody has a manager that's like that asks them why? Like, what would you think would be an appropriate response to be like, you can't ask me that?
Said I don't feel comfortable sharing. Or go talk to HR and be like, hey, my manager's asking me to give them details. And if you're just calling in sick, all you have to say, I don't feel well.
Yeah.
And if it really is more of a medical issue, then you should go to HR. You shouldn't be discussing any medical issues with your super, unless you feel comfortable with them.
Yeah.
But they can't ask you like, hey, why?
Let's see.
We actually just did a training on that with our manager. So hopefully that
she pulls up a PowerPoint.
Oh, I remember seeing this TikTok on, it was another podcast. I don't remember what podcast, but they were saying that parents should stop not smart. What the fuck am I trying to say?
Not planning.
Parents should not be. What the fuck? Hold on, it's late. Hold on.
We gotta restart her system.
Reboot.
You want
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay. Parents should stop sucking at planning their retirement.
Oh, yeah.
So
like leaving it up to the kids type thing.
Yeah, because some people will not like, and I get it. Like for me, my parents came here, immigrants, don't have a job, who has a 401k, like they don't have that, and I get it. But like, for example, for me, if I have lack the skills of saving my 401k, having a saving plan, doing all this so that way when I get older, sorry, I can financially support myself and not have to put that burden on my son. Like, oh shit, well, my skills of trying to save up for my retirement now, it's like, well, Joey, you take care of me. You go find a job. Find maybe two, and maybe he might already have family. Take care of me and your family.
It's a lot to ask for, and it's like some people feel entitled to it because of your family, but that's not how it should be.
And I know there's some cultures that's the way it is.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Hispanic cultures like that, Asian, like Thai culture with Matt. And that's one thing that he kind of struggles with, because he doesn't see it as like a burden per se, but it is more stress added on.
That's how I feel. That's why at a really young age, I put that much pressure on myself, and my parents never put that pressure, but I knew that because of their status, like their financial status, that I would have to at some point, be that person. Because I have siblings, but
it's like you are the one that's gonna step up and take the role.
So I was like, that's why I was like, okay, I need to get a house soon. I gotta get this degree. I gotta get a good paying job, so that way, because my dad is older too. So I'm like, I need to get him retired, and I don't think I'm fully there. I can definitely supply like a place where he doesn't have to pay rent and stuff like that. But as far as like completely just financially support him, I don't think I'm at that point, and that's where I fight with myself. Like, it's not just me. Like, I have siblings that can help out, but I still put all that pressure on me. Given the situation, like how I have a younger brother who he's still building that,
his foundation.
Yeah, so it's like stuff like that.
And it's a lot. I think it's a lot of not kids, but like, I mean, obviously you're their kids, to like, your goal is to help your parents. And it's funny when you think of it, it's like, I want to do that for my parents, but I don't want my kids to do that for me. So it's like a weird cycle, because like, I've always told my biggest goals in life would be to buy my dad his dream car. And I've always told him, I was like, you just gotta wait.
Give me a minute.
Give me a few years. Inflation's going up. And also being able to get a house big enough to where I could fit. Like, for me, I want my grandparents there. I want my like mom and dad there. If I need to like invite my extended family in, because I grew up with them, I feel like at that point, like, it's only right for me to spend the rest of my life all together, even though I know it's not gonna happen, because like, that's a lot of people in a house. But I would be okay with that. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to take care of myself to where my kids won't have to feel like they have to do that for me.
Exactly.
And it's weird too that like to say that because it's like, how am I allowing myself to think like this? But I don't want somebody else to think the same for me.
Yeah. And I think it's because we go through the motions of, at least I'm speaking for myself. Like I, put so much pressure that I get anxious. I have stress. Like I stress about money because I'm like, okay. And again, it goes back to my work ethic. Like I don't like missing work. I can be sick, but I'll still show up to work.
Yeah.
They'll send me home, but I try and push myself so that way, I get to that point where I'm financially successful and I can really help my parents out. But I don't ever want my son to feel what I feel, the pressure, because it's completely different because my parents don't have the resources and access like I do. So it'd be selfish of me to not take the resources that I have to not put him in that position.
Yeah.
Because I'm blessed with a good job, a good career. There's no reason why I should not be fully ready for retirement. Like if it happens because I know like Social Security, that's going to shit. I don't even know if we're going to even get Social Security at that point.
Stuff can always go wrong. Like that's out of your control.
Right. So, but I want to prepare myself as much as possible so that way he doesn't have that burden. We're like, shit, I have to take care of my mom and my dad.
Yeah. And I know for my situation, like, because my situation with my parents is different because they weren't the immigrants who came here. It was their parents. And so they were the ones who, like what you're doing, getting themselves together and prepping themselves for their parents, but also their life in the future. And my issue is, and we kind of talked about this with Denise when she came on, is that I know that they are fully capable of supporting themselves and their parents and me. And I'm like, oof. So the pressure I feel is different. It's like, well, what excuse do I have? When my parents were my age, they had 2 kids already and they had a house. And I'm like, oh my God. And like, it's gotten to the point where if there's like months where I need help with like either rent or like just freaking putting gas in my car, I don't want to ask them because I feel like because they were able to do so much for themselves by this age, I feel like obviously, I know they wouldn't say no. I know that they would help me. But it's like a pride thing where I don't want to do that. And that's another thing. Like, I don't want my kids to feel like that either.
Right. And that's so crazy, like, how different, like, because I'm first generation, you're second generation. We have
different problems.
But it's still...
It stems from the same thing, essentially.
Right. Because you're like, okay, well, they were able to do it. What the hell's my excuse?
Yeah.
And same thing like with Joey, he may have the same as you, but it's also our responsibility as parents. Like, hey, I understand that, I got to this point. It wasn't easy, but don't feel that you need to get to that point. Because I feel like for me, I had to push myself because I had this pressure of being successful because my parents sacrificed a lot to come to this country, leave their parents and, do all this. And for me to not do anything with it, like for me personally, I would think that's a slap to their face if I didn't do anything with my life, given the sacrifices that they did. So for him to feel that way, it's like luckily you won't have the same pressure. Yeah. But also like,
it's different. Like what he would feel is different. Yeah. Because that's also like, I remember I wanted to work right out of high school and like not really worry about going to school. Yeah. That was not
an option.
No, that wasn't going to happen. So they put me into debt. But that's another thing too, like kind of going into savings and stuff. And not to like, I'm obviously not shitting on my parents because they didn't know. They were first time parents. Yeah. But they didn't like set up anything for me. And I get it because nobody did it for them because they did that on their own. And I feel like that's something for sure when I have kids, I'm going to do that. Because, like, I feel, and I don't know, money, it's kind of made up. So, like, I don't feel like I'm feeling enough pressure to pay off my student loans, especially right now because they keep getting pushed back. And I'm like, hopefully they just get rid of them. But I feel like when I do have to start paying it, it's like, ugh, like, here we go. Yeah. So I don't want my kids to not only have to worry about the economy getting worse, inflation going up even more, and them having to just do basic things plus pay for student loans. Like, I feel like if my kid comes to me and says, I don't really want to go to like a college, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, just do something. Don't just sit at home and not do anything.
Right. I think that's the same way. I feel like if Joey would come to me like, hey, mom, I don't want to go to 4-year college. Okay. Well, what's your plan?
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to do?
You can't just
like,
stay at home.
Yeah. Either you're going to go find a job, you're going to go to trade school, something, you're going to find something.
Not just turn into a kid living in your parents' basement.
For sure. Like, I was still like, you need to give me a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what your plan is and what you want to do. Let's work towards it. If you need whatever help, if you want to go to the military like your dad did, please don't. But if you want to, sure.
Yeah. And honestly, college degrees are just kind of losing their value.
Honestly, for sure. Like, even if you would, like, I would tell them, hey, if you want to get into HR, fucking stressful, but good paying. Like, all you really need to do is go get a certificate from a college.
Yeah.
Literally, you can go to Dominguez Hills. I fucking could have done this instead of fucking spending so much money, but whatever.
Same.
And or you can, honestly, you can even get into HR with no degree. Start from the bottom as an office person
and just work your way up.
Yeah.
They're like, I remember they used to make it such a big deal in high school. Like, jobs aren't gonna like bring you in if you don't have a degree in that same field.
Yeah.
I don't have a degree in it. I have a degree in film. That has not helped me get a job.
Yeah.
It's always been word of mouth. So it's not even like, yes, I met people through the school. Was it worth that much money? Probably not. But
yes, it was. You met
That's
Matt.
true. That's true. That's like it's a lot of love.
And me and Fabi.
Yeah, so I guess so. And yeah, I'm so happy. My GoFundMe's in the
If everybody sends $1.
If everybody sends me $5. Those are getting crazy though on TikTok. Some people are asking for a little too much. But this episode's getting a little long.
Yeah, so we're gonna finish it off with our hot take, which is gonna be: should you give a 2-week notice to your employer?
Yeah, mine is the same thing. If look at your morals, do you want to screw people over like that, knowing that yes, you want to stick it to the man, but you're not sticking it to the man you think you are?
Yeah, same for me. It'd be like, it really depends on the situation. If you feel like you really need to, stand your ground and say, you know what, F you, today's my last day, go ahead and do it. Yeah. But if it's a good place and
if you could help it,
like, why not give the 2-week notice?
Yeah.
Or even a week notice.
Yeah.
Give some kind
just
of notice.
Something.
But
don't quit on a Friday.
Oh my God, please don't fucking quit on a Friday. That pisses me off. Friday at 4 p.m. while I'm trying to get home. I hate you.
Your phone blows up this coming Friday. Everybody quit. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you want to follow us along, see our Vegas adventure at 2 Guys on a Mic on Instagram and TikTok, and our personal ones are in the description below. And with that being said, you guys will see us on the next one.
Bye. What are we talking about?
Money.
Money.
Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs. Patrick is taking goals. Parents should stop.